Hey, what's up? This is Curtis with Show Up Lifestyle, helping you guys show up to a better life, helping hundreds and thousands of people. Also, the author of my new book, The 925 Escape Plan. So, check that out in the link below if you want to check that out. All right, so I want to talk about, this feeling of being stuck as a wage slave. And I'm just going to give a good analogy of what it means to be stuck in a wage slave. So I want to take your mind on a trip right now and go back in time and think of actually being a slave. So if you were actually a slave, let's say you're in the middle of this farm and you don't know what's out there. You don't know what if even if you escape, you don't know how far you're gonna make it before you get caught. You don't know how far you're gonna make it before you starve, before you die of dehydration. What kind of, you don't know what's out there. So, in order to escape as a slave, what would you have to do? Well, if you're getting food, right, you might want to put some of that food away, like eat portions of your meals. So if you get a slice of bread, you might want to put a quarter of that slice of bread and put it in your pocket, hide it in your pocket somewhere. When you get to wherever you go, hide it there and get a little stash. If you're getting water, you might want to find a way to get some of that water and preserve it and put it away. And with clothing, with shoes, you might want to preserve all of this stuff for a few months or a year, however long it takes you, in order for you to make a clever escape. So that way, when you go out there, you don't die of starvation or dehydration. And, then while you're reserving all of this food, all of this water, clothes, stuff like that, then you have to plan the escape, and that's strategic. You have to think about it. You have to think about it and you have to plan ahead. So you have to, maybe they're like, okay, well, there's no security guards watching the building around this time. This would be my perfect time to escape. In order to escape, maybe I need barbed wire cutters to cut through the fence. So in the middle of the night, I can cut through the fence and go out. Maybe I'm not strong enough to cut through the fence by myself. Maybe I need some help. Maybe, as a team, we'll be able to escape better in case anyone tries to attack us or there's animals out there that might try to attack us. Maybe we need some kind of weapons. So I'm saying this because it's similar to being a wage slave. So a lot of people want to quit their jobs and start a business and, don't really have a plan. They just have this idea. Everybody thinks that their idea is perfect, that they can just go out there and execute their idea and life is going to be peaches, strawberry cream, rainbow, and unicorns. But the truth of the matter is if you want if you feel stuck being a wage slave, the problem is you're probably not planning anything to escape it. You probably, like when you feel stuck, it's because you don't have a plan. You don't have something you're working towards. You have to have a plan. Why are you slaving away for these wages? And a lot of people feel stuck because the only thing they're doing is paying their bills. So, in order to feel unstuck, you have to make a way where you can put money to the side. This is like if you go back to the slaves, putting food to the side, putting water to the side, saving up for, um, swords, and finding things that will help you when you're trying to escape. And in your case, this would be money. This would be investments. This would be skills. This would be knowledge. This would be planning. So in order to feel unstuck, you probably feel stuck right now because you don't have money put to the side. You're living paycheck to paycheck. You can't escape because you have a car payment that you need to pay. You have rent that you need to pay. You have water, PG&E, all this stuff that you need to pay, and you can't afford to leave your job. You can't afford to lose your job. So you feel stuck. Now, first of all, you have to lower your expenses. I know a lot of people, they say, "Oh, I feel stuck. I'm not getting paid enough." But then they'll spend $10 a day, every day, on snacks. This is like a coffee, um, you know, chips, soda, all this junk. And then they're broke at the end of the week. And during the weekend, they go out to the bar, they go party with their friends, they buy some new shoes, they go shopping. So you're making yourself a slave by being a slave to not only your employer, but also all of the things that you want in your life, all of these shiny objects along the way. So you have to stop being a slave to all these things that you own, to all these material things, and start thinking like someone who's trying to get out of this wage slavery. So, a lot of people say, "Oh, don't skip the coffee, just make more money." That's true too. But why not skip the coffee? Why not get 120 servings of Folgers for $10, and that'll last you 120 days, which would cost you, I don't know, $500 in coffee, um, and do that instead. Start learning how to save money. So now you're still at your job, but after a year you have, $1,200 in the bank. And now you're like, okay, well, if I went a month without working, I still have a month worth of savings in my bank. So now you feel a little less stuck. You do that another year. Now you have 2,400. Maybe you got a raise so you could save, maybe you save 3 or 4,000. So now you feel really unstuck. And on top of that, you know, maybe instead of going partying and clubbing and bar hopping on the weekend, you get a job at wherever. Find the easiest job you can possibly find. Maybe Burger King is easy. Just work a Saturday at Burger King. Pick the morning shift where there's less customers. So you're just kind of hanging out for 8 hours. And that's at least $80, depending on where you live. So $80 once every week extra, which is $320 a month extra. You save that. Now you have $3,600 a year. So now you're building on top of that, and you were already saving $1,200. So now you have $4,800. So now you have some leeway. Now you can get skills to help you get paid more. Now you can switch jobs and get paid more. Now you can save more. And then you want to start investing your money. Or maybe you want to save for a down payment on a house. And then you want to pay that off quick because, you know, even though you're still a wage slave and you're working, you don't feel stuck anymore because now you have options. That's the first step, is being able to have options, being able to leave that job, go to another job, figure out what you like, figure out where you want to go in life. Now you have an option to start a business because you have this money backed up. You have the option to take that money and make an investment in yourself or in a business or in a skill that can help make you more money and escape wage slavery. So you have to continuously think about, how can I get myself unstuck? And the main reason why people get stuck is because they become a slave to way too many things. and they don't plan the escape. They don't plan to set themselves up. And on top of that, people do it for like a few months, and they're like, oh, it's been 3 months. All I saved was $300. Good. That's gonna add up. Because remember, this is a long process depending on where you're at. There's people who make $100,000 a year that feel like this. There's people who make $20,000 a year that feel like this. And it's because they're slaves to the things that they own. People who make $200,000 a year live like that. They feel stuck. They feel stuck at this job because they own so many things that they're slaves to. So, get rid of anything, any temptation that's making you a slave, and start planning to escape by saving money and learning things that you can do to make your life a little bit easier down the road, and have the patience to make a 10-year plan. It doesn't have to be exact. You just have to know, okay, in 10 years, I want to be able to work a little less. I want to be at a point in my life where I own my home. A lot of people are like, oh, I want to make $1 million this year. I read the law of attraction, so I'm going to make $1 million this year. But if you're struggling paycheck to paycheck and you're making 30,000 a year, how are you going to be a millionaire this year? Oh, I'm going to hit the lotto because I visualize it. It's not going to work like that. You have to put in action and think of it long term. If you think in long term, you will be successful. And it's an actual plan that you can actually do. You can actually predict long term success, but you can't predict short term luck. Now, if you predict long term success and short term luck comes, then great, but don't forget your long term plan. If you get $1 million today, don't forget that your plan wasn't to buy a Lamborghini, it was to own a home and put money in investments. So that's all I'm going to say. I hope this helped. Like, subscribe, share, comment. Please comment. I really like comments because it helps me know where people are at and what questions they need help on. So please do that. And don't forget to check out my book. I'll leave the link below. It's the 925 Escape Plan. It's really great information. Not only that, but it's a really good story. Thank you for watching, you guys. See you next time.